Spider fans, win 4 courtside seats to a home game, a Spider prize package, and lunch for 4 with Coach Mooney at Outback Steakhouse. All from Farm Bureau Insurance. Register online now at spidercontest.com.
This is a class we're very proud of. It's our first class as an entire group. It's a group that we feel very good about. It's a group that the staff, worked as hard as they possibly could to put together. It's a group that no one coach can say, I recruited that guy. It's the type of class that it took every one of us to recruit every one of these kids, from the head coach down to the operations staff. It was definitely a total team effort. We have 10 kids from the state of Virginia, which we're very proud of. I think a lot of the times the University of Richmond is looked at as a northern school or a school that our fan base or our talent base or our student body base comes from different places, but we're very proud of the fact that we have 10 kids from Virginia because we are a Virginia school. This was a process that started last February with our junior day, and we had the majority of these kids on campus for our junior day, and actually 12 of the kids in this class were actually on campus this summer in our camp. So, we're thrilled to have these guys, and we hope that they mature into being the guys that we think that they're going to be.
Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, Coach, can you talk a little bit about the difference between the promise of a new stadium and actually having a new stadium to show recruits?
Every little bit helps. When you look around this league, everyone has nice facilities. Everyone has, things that they've upgraded over the past years, and obviously our administration felt that it was time to do the same. The ability to actually play on campus and have our fans and our students and our alumni, actually here for these guys to see it. It's great. As I said before, a lot of these guys were on campus for games, so our game day atmosphere was definitely a great sell in this process.
What does it say about your program that you get these guys early? You get them when they're juniors and they stay with you. That has to mean a lot.
It says a lot about the program. It says a lot about the fact that the kids are attracted to the school. And our staff does a great job of just getting these kids here. We identify these young men as early as we can in the process, and obviously the ability to bring them to our campus, means a great deal.
What are your expectations for the freshmen for next year? Do you expect to redshirt them, or do you want to see them play right away?
Well, in a perfect world, we'd like to redshirt as many as we possibly can. I feel like these guys will be much better players at 22 than they are at 18. But, if a young man has the ability to help us right away, we have no issue with playing. We played a few freshmen this year, and the guys worked out well for us. So we'll see how they progress during summer camp and make a decision sometime before the first game of the season.
Coach, over half the guys are linemen. Was that something you were trying to do, get a lot of linemen in here, or is that just the way it worked out?
Well, we got here last spring, and we had 6 healthy offensive linemen for the spring. There were times during the spring where, if someone went down, we had to take a break. So the offensive and defensive line were, big areas of need for us, and we were able to go out and sign 5 offensive linemen and 4 defensive linemen, which which should help us out a whole bunch.
Hey, Coach Scott, among those 10 Virginians, 3 of those guys are from Group A schools. Is that unusual in your experience?
I think it may be unusual, but we tell the staff to go to every school in the state in the spring. And if you can play, you can play. And I think if you look at the 3 kids in Justin Grant, Trevor Jones, and Aaron Rowan, those kids dominated single-A football. And, it's not their fault where they grew up or where they're from. I think the statements that those guys made were definitely on the field, and I think those 3 guys are hidden gems, and we're very fortunate to have those guys as a part of our class.
I think Aaron committed right around the spring game, which was really early, and I wonder if his commitment may have influenced the other 2 guys who are from the same region.
Aaron's been here almost as long as we have as a staff. He was a young man that we identified early in the process. And all these kids play in the same district. They play against each other. They're the 3 best players, in that district. So I think, Aaron was definitely an ambassador for the University of Richmond. And, we've had the opportunity to see these 3 guys compete against each other, and we're thrilled that they're all be teammates.
This was your first experience as recruiting as a head coach. How is that different, and how did it go for you as compared to when you were a position as coach?
Actually, we got the opportunity to do this last year, so it's not our first time around, but when you're the head coach, I think you become more of a closer. Our staff does a great job going out actually identifying the kids, and my job now is to go in and try to finish the things that these guys have created.
Jones is a guy who played a lot all over the field for Charles City. Can you any idea where you might be able to use him?
Trevor can do a lot of things. one thing that we did with this class is we wanted to find as many guys that could play more than one position as we possibly could. If you look at our injury situation a year ago, we were very thin and limited as to where we could move guys. Trevor's played some safety, he's played some corner, he's played some quarterback, he's played receiver, he's played running back. If you look at Justin Grant, he's done multiple things. Aaron Roan's done multiple things. Dominic Miller from up in Northern Virginia has done multiple things. So I think if you look at our skilled kids, with the exception of quarterback, everybody's, with the exception of Cormac Craigie at quarterback, everybody played more than one position.
Seriously, are you looking for just the best athletes you can get, or are you looking to fill specific needs?
Both. I think with our linemen, you want to fill specific needs. But with these athletes, with the skilled guys, you want a guy that can do as many things as possible, because if a young man in high school isn't so valuable that his coach can't take him off the field, you're not really sure if you want him. And I think if you look down at this signee list, not many of these guys, are one-way guys that didn't play both ways. That means that they're very, very valuable to their programs.
Two guys in this class who are already in class. I guess this is fairly obvious, but what type of advantages does that give them, and does it give you guys as a staff?
It's great. Cooper Taylor, a young man transferred to us from Georgia Tech. Cooper hopefully will make an immediate impact. He's played college football for 2 seasons and redshirted 1. He has 2 years left here to play with us, and I think he brings instant credibility. He was a starter at the BCS level, and he brings a work ethic and a type of athleticism to our secondary that we need. And obviously he also fills a hole. Max Burkell was a starter for us last year, so we're hoping that Cooper can come in and give us some help right away. It's a very special situation with Mylan Bluford. He's a young man who was a very gifted athlete, very gifted student, and we were able to have him enroll mid-year. And I think the ability to have him play, basically what you would call it an extra spring, will be great for him. If you go down and look at him and some of the things he's been able to do with our team to this point, he doesn't look like a kid, who was playing high school football in December. So I think it speaks to who he is and the program at Oscar Smith that he comes from, and we're looking forward to great things out of him.
Can you talk about, expand a little bit on Cooper? I mean, being able to bring in a guy who could be able to theoretically come in and step in and be a leader when you're losing Justin, you're losing Max. I mean, how valuable is that?
He's been great. We've been very fortunate with the transfers that we've taken. Our guys don't have a bunch of ego. They're looking for a home. They're looking for a place to play. Our guys embraced him, and I think from his very first workout, he showed our guys that he means business. And I think as long as people transfer in with a team-first mentality, it's great for the team. And I think Cooper brings a competitive effort. He brings some leadership, and he brings the fact that he's a proven quantity. I mean, he's intercepted passes in ACC games. He's played in big-time football games, and I think our team needs as many of those people as we can possibly have.
Latrell, would you anticipate any more of those kind of guys before August camp begins?
As far as what?
FBS transfers.
Well, we don't go out and pursue them. And obviously I don't want a team full of transfers, because I think at times you can have too many transfers. If you look at the transfers that we've had, those guys have been great fits at positions of need. So we'll investigate things. If, as people come our way, we'll definitely take a look at it. It's an attractive place. It's great that young men want to come and play at the University of Richmond, but obviously we can't take everyone who's interested in us. But, if there's a situation that fits our program and fits us academically, we definitely look into it.